Hey folks, welcome back to the Impossible Lair. And I guess I know we've talked about it a bit, but I feel like this is probably the first real point at which it makes it super obvious that, yeah, this is kind of got some Metroid-y vibes going on in the Overworld.
Oh?
Metroid in what way?
Well, I mean, say the Overworld kind of crosses in and over itself a whole bunch as you go around. So, like, that area, if we had continued south, that's down where, like, level 5 is.
I mean, by that rubric, then this game is pretty much like Dark Souls. I thought that when you said Metroid, that it meant that we'd be getting some more powers that would help us to explore different areas. And that's what I usually think of when Metroid is mentioned.
Well, this can be the Dark Souls of platformers.
I do not think this is the Dark Souls of platformers.
It could be.
How would you even quantify that? What is your criteria for calling something the Dark Souls of platformers?
People keep dying. You've done a fair bit of that.
Yeah, you have quite often died. All you need now is a bunch of silly gestures and people leaving hints on the ground or invading while you're playing.
Somehow I don't think that's the best description of the Dark Souls of platformers.
Well, I never finished Dark Souls 1 and I never bought any of the other games, so...
Well, I mean, if you're talking about hard in terms of platformers, then this would have to be like the Castlevania of platformers or something. Except wait, the Castlevania is already a platformer, so that's kind of redundant, isn't it? I don't even know what I'm saying.
I mean, I feel like if you did want the Dark Souls of platformers, it's probably, like, something like Blasphemous is probably about as close as you get.
Oh yeah, that definitely works in terms of atmosphere. It's got that bleak thing down pat.
I never actually played it, but just from what I've seen of it, makes it look extremely Dark Souls-y.
How strong is the wind? Like, can you go against it?
Oh, it automatically pushes you.
But you can push a button to make the wind go away.
But if we step off of that switch, the wind comes back. A puzzle indeed.
Did that lock just scream X yellow at us?
No, it was telling us that we need a yellow key to open it. Because, like, there are some chests that you can open with, like, if you had, like, some of them, like, the ones, like the one I got that first fan out of, it was like, well, you needed 500 quills to open that chest.
I think I'm getting what's going on here.
Kind of with that, you get blown around even with the box, but...
You know, that's actually a lot less graceful a solution than what I was thinking of.
I don't know if I would say that graceful is a thing that this game does much.
Flower. I like flowers.
Yep.
That one, if I remember right, causes enemies to kind of just explode into flowers when you kill them.
Interesting. I don't see what purpose that would really have, but...
Absolutely none. It's just a fun little aesthetic touch.
Nice.
So, we have to get these two pinwheels in order to give to a door so that it'll do what for us?
Well, you see, this door that you speak of is a giant fan that doesn't have any fans in it, so it can't blow air.
It looks like a door. Like, these things, like, they are very door-like. If they didn't have the whole wind thing, you never would confuse them for like a fan. I mean, could they at least like be shaped like air conditioning units or something?
Perhaps, but there's not as much room on an air conditioner for silly faces.
Nonsense. You can always slap googly eyes on something.
I suppose I'm not rare. They're the masters of it after all.
Anyway, here's something completely different that I didn't really have anywhere good to put in the video. This is an area near the beginning of the game that we opened up very early on and I just never went to.
I've done that. I did that on one run of Banjo-Kazooie. I opened up a level and I never went back.
Did you just bonk on a bit of Havoc engine debris?
On what?
Like one of the boxes you broke, it looked like you bumped against one of the pieces after you broke it.
I don't think so. Anyway, yep, that's it. That's all that's in here.
Man, this game's kind of making me want to play a platformer again.
But not this platformer.
Maybe this one.
I mean, I like this one a lot, but it is definitely a game that is highly informed by the general Donkey Kong playstyle. Anyway, I apologize in advance, but, you know, we did have to show this off eventually.
Did we?
So this is the GB resolution tonic, and well, you can see what it does.
You could have just showed this off for like 5 or 10 seconds and spared us the agony.
It's not that bad.
It is pretty bad.
I mean, I have to agree with Blast. This is pretty fucking terrible. Like, my best way of describing it is that, like, like, you know, the pre-rendered sprites from the original Donkey Kong Country games and how they look like absolute ass when you blow them up to, like, 720p on, like, an actual HD TV? That's what this feels like.
Yeah, I guess I got used to playing the Game Boy Advance Banjo game, and that also had pre-rendered stuff, so...
Like, seriously, this is actually hurting my eyes to look at stuff in the background.
Just give commentary while your eyes are closed. Problem solved.
Now, this is truly the Dark Souls of platformers.
It's true. With one simple visual tweak, it's officially the hardest platformer you've ever seen.
So, who wants to play Dark Souls with the Game Boy Advance style resolution? Any takers?
I'm sure somebody would give it a try. Let's call up CJakes again.
Right, a Game Boy Advance is what? 320 by 240? Or is it 480 by 320?
Wait, though, like, could you actually say you died on a Nintendo console? Or at least, like, something from the 90s or early 2000s?
You can get away with a ton of shit on Nintendo these days.
Actually, wait, come to think of it, yeah, like, I remember there were some SNES games that had some pretty, I remember if there was any... No, wait, actually, yeah, there was blood in some games. And you had some cursing and some references to things.
So, just for reference, if you don't believe about this, you know, if this wasn't enough proof for you, I actually died in there because I legitimately could not tell there was a door there.
So, is there a way to get rid of this thing?
There is not. You have to kill it using it. You either have to lure it off of a ledge, or hit it with a berry or an explosive.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the filter.
This too, but I was more talking about that terrible rolling thing.
Yeah, that's a spiky snail, and they are some hot garbage.
Classic. It wouldn't be a Donkey Kong Country-like game if there wasn't some enemies that were complete arse to fight.
Well, they're not crushes.
I mean, to be fair, is anything truly able to take Crush's place in our hearts?
My only exposure through Donkey Kong Country is by ROM hacks, so I'm just thinking of those Cat of Nine Tails.
No. Crushes are the invincible guys who you just bounce against.
I mean, at least you can bounce off them. The Cat of Nine Tails, sometimes they just randomly kill you.
We don't talk about the Cat of Nine Tails.
Donkey Kong Country 3, it was 3, right? Or was it 2?
Cat of Nine Tails is in 2.
Alright, so 2 also had some questionable design decisions. Oh, dang. I just called Donkey Kong Country 2 not entirely perfect on the internet.
I mean, I don't feel like it's that egregious of a sin. Like, it's a very good game, but it absolutely does have some problems.
Okay, now this filter is starting to bother me.
I feel like this level is almost designed in such a way, like, specifically to allow this guy to be a giant fucking pain in your ass.
So he never stops, does he?
No. And even if he does, you don't have any way of actually, like, hurting him.
Oh, dang. Like, those quills just blend into the awning with this filter.
The music is quite pleasant, if it's, you know, if a little kind of... It doesn't really remind me of much of anything, but it is, you know, nice listening music at least.
It sort of just kind of slid off the back of my mind until you mentioned it. Like, it's very ambient.
Imagine if the Game Boy Advance filter made the music sound like the Game Boy Advance too.
Hey, the GBA had some good tracks. Like, have you ever played Golden Sun?
No, but I've heard the music. Which is to say I've gotten everything I need out of it.
I can't believe you're bringing the Golden Sun discourse to my Let's Play.
Golden Sun had a really good soundtrack. What can I say?
Did it? Did it really?
Yeah, like it had some really amazing battle themes for the GBA.
My first exposure to Golden Sun music was actually through ROM hacks.
I feel like the problem with Golden Sun music is the same as the problem with, like, everything else Motoi Sakuraba has ever composed other than Dark Souls. Which is that it's exactly the same. It's just some guy rolling his face across a synth keyboard over and over.
I won't deny that. I'm a little bored of his stuff these days, but
I mean, I guess that's fair.
hearing it in a Fire Emblem hack was trippy.
That I can imagine.
Are you talking about the Last Promise?
Yep.
Actually, wait, yeah, there was a Golden Sun song in that.
Venus Lighthouse, I think.
Yeah. Though, I mean, there were songs that were mangled from a number of games, so I guess it's reasonable that I'd miss one.
They had versus Ernest in that.
I feel like, generally speaking, you don't really remember the Golden Sun because... What is it? Is it His World or All Hail Shadow?
His World.
His World.
Yeah, see, like... I feel like that kind of overshadows it.
More games could use His World.
So you can just roll into the wall to drop that down, right? Yep.
You absolutely can.
Upside... No. I'm gonna say that right now. Do not...
Oh, yes.
Can we stack them?
You can stack up to 3 tonics at once, although the frame rate may not appreciate it very much.
You're seriously going to use upside down.
Well, I don't have to say I'm going to use upside down right now.
Oh, now I'm excited.
No, we have a few more to get through before we use that one. Also, upside down is special because it's one of the VFX filters that actually makes the game harder, so they give you extra quills for using it.
Oh, cool.
Did a cauldron just puke on a book?
Well, that cauldron, now that we've added honey to that cauldron, it has the mixture is very sweet and sticky, and now we've spilled it all over the Sawblade level.
So yes, a cauldron just puked on a book.
Yes. And there's Trouser, so at least we know where we're going when we're all done with this.
I hate Trouser's voice already.
I actually don't like the Banjo-Kazooie voices very much, to be completely honest, so... I feel like they would have been significantly better if they just didn't have a voice at all.
Oh, we can also do different aspect ratios.
We sure can. They're kind of lazy about it, because, like, it's the bad way of doing the aspect ratio, because, like, the game is still rendering its standard 16:9, but it just kind of crops the screen accordingly to make it fit.
So, is there letterboxing? Like, can we do that?
I'm trying to think what all there are. There's 3-1, which we're using right now. There's 4-3. There's a couple others. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head.
Heck of a time to get unstuck there.
But yeah, it's the honey. It's great. The whole level is coated with this stuff now, and
Do we ever get to light a level on fire?
I'm sure something like that can be arranged. But yeah, the honey functions exactly like you'd expect it to.
Is it quicksand?
Yeah, the stuff on the ground will slow you down and make it hard for you to jump, and the stuff on the walls will let you do wall jumps off of them.
Now I gotta wonder, is honey actually good for chameleons? Or geckos or whatever Yooka is supposed to be?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yeah, so right here is an instance of what I mean by the game does this, like, 3-1 ratio the wrong way. Because, like, if we had full access to the screen, you would be able to see that you can get on top of that. Like, right there. You saw it for, like, a split second.
Ah, yeah. No.
But since we're using the 3-1 ratio, that is you know, I couldn't see that, and it took me like 5 times longer to find that.
So you're penalized, but not in an obvious way for using these.
Right.
Alright, the internet is indecisive. That's weird. Usually I'm able to figure out answers to weird questions, like, in an instant. Oh well. I'm sure someone in the thread will know if geckos get killed by honey.
I mean, it's a natural product, and
I was gonna say, I doubt it, but who knows? So I foolishly did not get those 2 quills on the left, so I have no idea what this ghost quill has, but we're not getting it.
Probably just more quills?
Probably, but some of them have... Like, there's a handful of them that have twit coins, or they'll drop, like, bombs or berries for you, so we may never know what that one had.
Okay, is that a spider?
That is a spider.
A spider with some kind of like a spiky, like, Inca or Aztec idol head or something? Some of the creature designs are a little bit unusual.
It'd be kind of boring if they were just normal, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know. Donkey Kong Country managed to make different variations on crocodiles interesting.
I mean, yes. I guess mostly, I would say that's mostly a DKC1 thing, because by DKC2, it wasn't crocodile, it was crocodile with a peg leg, or crocodile with springs for feet, etc. So...
God, this level feels like it's at night. Like, I woke up not too long ago, but I'm already feeling sleepy again.
Well, I mean, we're about to go outside, and as you can see, it is, in fact, at night.
That would explain the feeling. Is this another thing cut off by the 3-1 ratio?
Sure is.
Surprised that didn't hit you.
The shells can't hurt you. I mean, they're functionally just barrels.
You know, I remember that DKC2 did levels involving honey as well.
DKC2s were... weird. Like... Because, like, in DKC2, you could not move at all in the honey. Like, you had to jump. Unless you were teamed up for a buddy throw, in which case you could walk through it just fine. Which I'm certain was probably a bug.
Oh yeah, that was definitely unintentional. Like, no question about it.
I'm kind of digging the, like, guitar in this level's music.
Yeah, it's got a nice mellow theme to it.
Yeah, most of the altered levels have remixes of the soundtrack. So, like, this one was done by Matt Griffin. They said, I like it. I actually like this theme better than the original as well.
Still, it's putting me to sleep. It's kind of comfy.
So what are we saving this thingy here for?
That thingy that's in our mouth is actually, it's the equivalent of a TNT barrel, so we're not really saving it for anything. I'm just keeping it until I feel like throwing it at something. Because usually, in cases where they give you a TNT like that, it's because there's like a cage coming up that you need to break with it, but in this case, it was just... I guess it was there to throw at an enemy? I don't know.
And you never did.
It's true. Gonna have to go back and edit in the Dark Souls you died now.
Man, some of these spiders are hard to catch too in this ratio. This really was a bad level to show it off. Or perhaps a good level to show off the shortcomings.
I mean, just generally speaking, anything that cuts off your vertical visuals is going to be a lot more painful than your horizontal ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that there probably was never gonna be a good opportunity to show off 3x1.
Fortunately, now that we've seen it, you know, as you can see, it's not a very exciting tonic, so we never have to use it again. And we can consign it to the bin with the Game Boy resolution and disco.
I didn't see disco.
It was in it was in video 4? It was not great, to put it mildly.
One day we'll get you using Disco, GBA, and Upside Down all at once.
Please no.